everything you need to know about Chipies ecosystem in less than 30 minutes. Before we begin to dive deep into what Chipies ecosystem is all about, let's see the core problem Chipies ecosystem is trying to address within humanity. So basically, we all agree there are a lot of bugs that go against human values in today's world. There are a lot of things that we do not actually agree, but we do them for the purpose of survival. This world actually sucks to almost everyone on a daily basis. It's actually a threat to humanity. So we live in this kind of a world whereby other people seem to hold the keys for the lives of other people. We live in this kind of a world whereby we see different kinds of centralizations, different kinds of extractive systems that continually extract value from people without regenerating that value back into people. We have seen this kind of situations whereby people are just the employees, they actually participate and they really own ownership over what they actually participate in. We have seen this kind of situations whereby projects are operating in isolations. Everything is fragmented and people, they just do a number of things, hustling etc. for the purpose just to save the ends of the day, just for the purpose of survival. We have seen this kind of situations whereby systems are offering what we call in short or instant gratifications, these kind of copper slopes and the dopamine driven economies, this kind of short-term values that are not regenerative and that are impacting future civilizations. Why? Because they are not even regenerative. So Chipies ecosystem is actually addressing this kind of mediocres, this kind of bugs in humanity that is affecting humanity each and every day. So basically, now let's define what Chipies ecosystem is all about. So Chipies ecosystem is a blockchain-based ecosystem. Basically, in geography, we all agree that an ecosystem is this kind of all-level definition of geography, whereby we talk about food chains, showing food webs, the interconnectedness between the living environment and the non-living environment. So Chipies ecosystem basically is a blockchain-based ecosystem, which is an ecosystem of agreements with the hope to create what we call a human universe, to make sure that each and every person around the world actually thrive without depending on anyone. So it's blockchain based. Then Chipies ecosystem is actually distributed and owned by participants. No one owns the Chipies, but Chipies actually is owned through ubiquitous ownership. That's Chipies ecosystem. Chipies ecosystem is actually structured at ecosystem level, not only at project level. So Chipies ecosystem is owned and structured through ubiquitous ownership by anyone, anywhere across the world. Then it is actually designed not to only fulfill the lives of those that are present within Chipies ecosystem, but to span through civilization, which means it focuses on continuum, longevity, and regenerative growth throughout civilizations. Right? So what were the foundational principles of Chipies ecosystem, or what are the foundational principles of Chipies ecosystem? Because it was created under some assumptions, under some core principles, and it is even by now standing on those principles. So what made or contributed to the foundation of Chipies ecosystem? So we have talked about centralizations, extractive systems whereby participation doesn't lead to ownership etc. So with Chipies ecosystem, right, it was a question about what if everyone can thrive? What if participation actually leads to ownership? What if anyone anyway can actually participate fully anyway in development, innovation, can actually own without barriers of geographical locations etc. So Chipies was a question to make each and everyone thrive without having a central authority company or a person you actually depend on. So ownership for anyone, anyway. That also means distributed governance. That also means long-term civilization thinking. That also means human-centered value creation. So we are making human again. We are making humans great again. So what is the technological architecture of Chipies ecosystem? So like what we said, Chipies ecosystem is actually a blockchain, is actually based on blockchain infrastructure. So basically it runs through the chains, basically meaning that it is owned by no one. It is no any middle person or company that controls it. It is actually permissionless and trustless, and it can be verifiable by anyone anyway. Then it runs through smart contracts. It is transparent, it provides a transparent and verifiable participation. It also provides decentralized and distributed logics. Okay, Now let's see about ecosystem level ownership. So like what we said, Chipies is actually decentralized and distributed. This implies that no one controls it. No middle person or company controls Chipies ecosystem. So this in turn also explains that Chipies ecosystem also utilizes ubiquitous ownership, whereby we say anyone anywhere is also a co-owner of Chipies ecosystem. There is no owner. So instead of us explaining that Facebook is actually owned by Mark Zuckerberg, we are saying there are 1 billion people who own Chipies ecosystem, not to say Mark Zuckerberg own Facebook with 1 billion people. So this is ecosystem level ownership. This is ubiquitous ownership. This is how Chipies ecosystem actually operates when it comes to ownership. It's actually decentralized and distributed. No central authority or any person who may try to implement extractive terms or conditions within its operations. So it's not only limited to single project or a company. It is ubiquitous, even if its operations, its value is ubiquitous anywhere across the world. At the same time, participation within Chipies ecosystem actually aligns to its co-creators, aligns to its co-owners, and value creation and responsibility is ubiquitous at the same time. Value flows through across borders, across interconnected nodes. Anyone, anywhere can actually create value within Chipies ecosystem, right? Chipies ecosystem basically uses co-creatorship as its consensus mechanism. So we have seen this kind of decentralized organizations which uses social consensus for its innovation, development, upgrades, etc. With Chipies ecosystem, we use what we call co-creatorship consensus. With co-creatorship consensus, we simply mean that decisions are collectively shaped through a community, a co-creatorship community. We are saying participation is actually active within a community, not active from a central authority or any passive person. Actually, we are saying responsibility at the same time is shared within the community, and also alignment is equal to contribution within the community. So this implies that we do not only do our consensus through social networking. No, we do our consensus through co-creatorship, which implies co-designing, co-shaping, collectively thinking, and collectively impacting the globe for global good. Because Chipies ecosystem actually care about public and global good, not personal good, or personal advantage, but it aims to make sure that each and every person across the world actually thrives, despite of location, despite of who you are. Then, now let's define the regenerative vision of Chipies ecosystem. So basically, Chipies ecosystem focuses on long-term vision of having this kind of regenerative life that spans through civilizations. So it actually focuses on long-term sustainability, not short-term instant gratifications or dopamine-driven economies that extract value from people. Basically, it is designed to span through generations, not to affect only one generation. Basically, it is also is designed to align economic growth with renewal, and at the same time, it aims to support thriving communities, thriving civilizations through civilizations. So we have seen this kind of problems that have been caused by centralized and the extractive systems that we are passing intergenerational problems like poverty throughout civilization. But with Chipies, we are trying to make sure that life is thriving is passed as inheritance through civilization. At the same time, Chipies also aims to humanize human life itself. So humanizing human life is actually a rebellion to extractive ecosystems. It is actually a rebellion to extractive companies, extractive businesses. So Chipies ecosystem actually focuses on humanizing human life itself. So we need to improve the way societies live. We need to improve life itself. So that is the main focus of Chipies ecosystem, to make sure that people are not just the only users, only clients, only customers for specific centralized authority, but people are actually owners of what they consume, use on almost daily basis. At the same time, Chipies also aims to encourage responsibility over dependence. At the same time, it enables structural participation and seeks to make thriving the default human character. So abundance is going to be default. thriving shall be default. So why Chipies ecosystem even matters? So Chipies ecosystem matter. Why? Because it moves the people from users to owners. It actually encourages responsibility over dependence. It actually encourages structural participation. It actually seeks to make thriving the default. It makes scarcity a substitute. It makes abundance a default human, So abundance is supposed to be a way of life. So my invitation is, welcome to Chipies ecosystem. You are welcome anytime to become an ecosystem owner or ubiquitous owner. You are welcome anytime to participate in co-creatorship. Be a Chipies ecosystem co-creator. Participate in humanizing life. Participate in helping thrive every person across the world. Participate in bringing, circulatory systems within humanity that aren't extractive. We are welcome anytime to take responsibility of co-shaping the future of human civilization, of humanizing human life. You are welcome at any time to help build a regenerative infrastructure and contribute to a civilization level shift. Thank you very much.